Who in the world was expecting that performance? I wasn't expecting a 4-0 win. Certainly not. Oh my god. Barcelona come out with a 4-0 win over Granada, the third game in a row that the team wins away from home. I don't know about you, but that is massive. That is huge. It's honestly so big. It matters. It matters so much. I don't know about you guys, but size does matter. Size does matter. That's what they've told me. That's what they told me. How are you all doing, guys? How are you all doing? How did you find this game? Are you excited about it? Are you... I don't know. What sensation does it feel you? Do you feel you're trusting more on the team now, on Koeman and all of them? Or are you still with the same disgust and annoyance, let's say, of what we had before? How are you doing? How are you doing? Why was I late? I honestly set the live streams kind of like 25 minutes after the game. But it just took me a little bit longer to post in like kind of like the promotional social media things. I normally just make a tweet and I post it in like some groups that I have permission to post them in, and I just do some stories, like a quick story on Instagram, a quick story on Twitter or fleets or whatever they are called. Why in the world does Twitter not just call them stories? Like, ugh. But yeah, that's why it taken me a little bit. Oh, fourth game in a row. Actually, we win away from home. Ooh, this is from Amar. Let's check it. Amar. Let's check it. Instead of typing Barcelona versus Granada, I typed Amar on Google. Let's check it. Let's see. So we beat Granada just recently, and then we beat Atletico Bilbao, and we beat Huesca, and we beat Valladolid away from home. Indeed, Amar, you're a bro. You're a bro. You deserve that moderator title you have. You know, you deserve it. You can keep it. It's for you. But yeah, guys. So how was the game for you? Did you enjoy it? Certainly, because for me, it's always a real hassle to enjoy games when you kind of do not score early. But this time around, thankfully, that didn't happen. We scored early for the goal of Antoine Griezmann. It was this sort of just conglomeration of unfortunate events that led to the goal. You know, the pass that was, I don't think it was intended to Griezmann. It was more of the clearance that Roberto Soldado tried to attempt, and then he bounced back to Antoine Griezmann, and then Griezmann just basically scored into the back of the net. That's literally how he did. Ray showed the stream. I have no idea what this means. 168 says, with $2 off the nation. Thank you. You say, we definitely can win the Supercopa this season. I mean, we certainly can win the Supercopa this season. And that is exactly what I stressed in a tweet very recently. I said that it's very important that Barcelona are reaching this peak right now, because we can continue, hopefully, with this consistency and can lead us into the Supercopa. We have Real Sociedad on Wednesday, and that can hopefully be a win for us. And then we would face Bilbao or Real Madrid, whoever wins that knockout. But it's good that we're reaching these performances at its peak right now, because hopefully then we can lead it and continue to win a trophy, win a silverware. And as much as fans do not like to stress much, about the actual Supercopa, because let's be honest, it's not the biggest trophy there is in football, right? It's important for the players, because a silver like that, no matter what you do, if you are working, you have a job, and for these guys, it's football, you want to be rewarded with whatever you do. And getting that silverware is going to make Pedri, is going to make even Ricky Puig, Ansu Fati, Dembele, Griezmann, Messi trust in the process more. And also the fans. And that is the title of this video, if you realize, of this live stream, is trust on the process. Why do we need to trust on the process? Because consistency and time is what going to lead you to results. You cannot make things in the short term. That never really works. You have to plan out what you have to do. And that is what I was saying with the latest video on why we must not sack Koeman. Because tactics and performances, that's one thing. That is one thing that certainly Koeman is not the way. I do not believe Koeman is the man to revolutionize Barcelona. That is no secret. He's not the guy to do that. But for the moment being, we have to stick with a plan. And our plan should be to continue until the president gets here and then he decides what to do. And you will probably realize as well that when the president comes in through the door, he won't sack Koeman. He will probably just wait until the end of the season and then just finish it up, because he has a contract. He has a 1-year contract that he can extend. So that is probably what's going to happen. Koeman's going to be here for just this 1 year. We're going to say thank you, Koeman, for your work, and he's going to leave. So that is what I was saying. Long term, we have to focus on the long term, on the plan, and that is what Barcelona has been doing here, and it's showing. It's showing. Koeman's formation at the start of the season worked, in my opinion, but we were lacking the finishing and just the ability to close out games. And Barcelona this time around, in these recent games, they've been able to do that. They've been able to close down the games. They've been able to finish their chances, and most importantly, players like Griezmann are getting that confidence. The fourth goal that Griezmann scored, that goal wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Antoine Griezmann having the confidence in himself to realize that shot by the end. So that is what ultimately, just continuity and keeping the same lineup, changing some pieces here and there, but most importantly, thinking about the long term can guarantee you. That is literally what I just wanted to say. A short monologue at the start, but now we can get back into reading some of your comments. So, is Araujo long-term injured? ? There is really no news from Barcelona that has come out yet so far, so we don't know that much. But according to their Twitter, it said that Araujo himself said that he shouldn't play because he felt a knock during the warm-up. So that is hopefully better, because it means that we actually I don't know what's the word in English, my goodness. You actually kind of forewarn the injury, So that is better, because it's actually, he hasn't played with it, so it's not worse. Andre Hernandez, Trincao needs more confidence. Hopefully Koeman gives him a chance in the Copa del Rey or even the Supercopa. Indeed, I think that Trincao needs to play. I didn't really see much of him in these latest few minutes, these last 30 minutes. He didn't impress that much. He really didn't. But like you say, it's just time. It's not a perfect. It's a good game to come in as a substitute, because you can then test the waters to feel better. But in the long run, you want him to perform to the levels that he was at Braga, with the contributions and goal assists that he would always do. But that is what needs to happen. We just need to give him more time. Ankur Banjer G saying, do you think Messi and Griezmann can form a formidable attacking duo? Certainly, 100%. Messi and Griezmann are quality world-class players. And when you have quality world-class players, they will tend to understand each other perfectly, that they did in this game. So that is what I believe should happen. And that is what I want to basically happen at Barcelona, because I do believe that those two players can connect in the way that they have done. Especially this formation helps them really well, because since there is no proper striker, no proper number 9, Messi can choose and dictate the position of those two players, of Messi and Griezmann. So when Messi is centrally, basically Griezmann understands he needs to be himself in the right. But then when Messi shifts to the right, then that's where Griezmann moves into centrally and just gets into much better positions that way. So it's not necessarily a proper striker that is helping Griezmann like he would normally used to at Atletico Madrid or in France, where he has Diego Costa, he had Giroud. No, he's learning to play in a new way, but still in that dynamic of a duo. So at least we're seeing a good Griezmann, in my opinion. Tarek Yunis, just like always, bro, how are you? What a game today. I really hope Barca start to find momentum. We have to stay this clinic if we want to keep winning. I am very impressed today and have nothing but hope for the rest of the season. Indeed, that's exactly. There's no point in just criticizing and looking at every single thing wrongly. Well, myself, I am someone very critical. That you see most of my videos, some people, all the comments are like people disagreeing with me. And that is good. It's good because we create that discussion. But on top of that, it's almost more important because it leads us to believe that these fans have high expectations. But the only way to reach those high expectations is when we have consistency and we remember that. And like you, Tarek Yunis, has said here, it's very, very important. Tudor Majica says, do you think the second goal should have been disallowed with the Busi handball? I mean, in my opinion, if I was trying to be as honest and as unbiased as possible, I would say yes. I think it should have been taken all the way back to Busquets, and I didn't know why they didn't look that in the VAR. In my opinion, it should have been disallowed because we've seen in many occasions, like in the Premier League, that has happened many times. But yeah, I agree it should have been disallowed, but I'll take it. I'll take it. with logic says here, do you think Pedri, Puig, and Frankie is a good midfield? Certainly, I really do think it's a good midfield, but I'm not too sure who's going to be doing the main carry, the main kind of, will be taking the main load of responsibility of defending in there. Pedri and Frankie de Jong are very good mobile players, the same as Ricky Puig. The thing is that now that we have Busquets, at least people, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the chat right now. What do you think of the performance of Busquets today and the last 2 games? Because in my opinion, Busquets has been improving a lot. Because mainly he has De Jong and Pedri next to him, because there are 2 players that will certainly cover a lot of ground. Pedri was actually the player who ran the most in that Atletico Bilbao game, if I'm not wrong, with like something crazy like 13.5 kilometers covered, which is just insane. But it's good that we have them together. But the thing with Ricky Puig, once again, it has to be basically the sheer numbers of players that they are in a very similar position. So Coutinho, Pedri, Messi, Griezmann, all of them can play in where Ricky Puig should be playing. And that is something that Koeman has to look at and remedy. But unless we actually have a complete system that everyone is pressing, I don't think that midfield will work. It's not that Puig is a bad player or Pedri is young or anything. It's just simply that we have kind of the luxury of playing only one player in that free roaming position. And if I'm going to take one, so far through what we have seen this season, I'll take Pedri. But certainly Ricky Puig can enter there, and we hopefully see a 4-3-3 with them together. But Busquets right now has been playing good, so I wouldn't take him out. Shakib Sarger, again with a donation, thank you. You say, when Fati comes in, who will have to sit out? In my opinion, it's very annoying really to decide who has to sit out, because the team is very balanced. I honestly believe that Fati starts on the bench. Dembele has been incredible, and what Dembele has over Fati is that Dembele can play in the double wings, so he can play left wing and right wing position, whilst Fati doesn't necessarily can do that. Fati can play mostly through the left into the center and then through the middle as a striker. So I honestly do believe that Fati will start on the bench, but that isn't bad by any means, because it means that whenever we need to substitute an impact to be made, we have a wonderful player like that. And if it's not Ansu Fati being benched that game, it could be Griezmann, it could be Dembele, and there's always going to be some extra name that we can bring onto it. If you could add names like Memphis Depay, which are being linked to in the transfer window, we certainly have a possibility for a very good attack going forward. And one that is versatile and constantly moving, constantly shifting from positions, and we certainly get something very closely to what Liverpool have, where Liverpool can put any front free and that they work, because it's a systematic approach to their game. And that is what I believe Koeman is trying to do with this side. So I do think that it can happen in the long run, but I honestly do believe that Fati will sit down. When he's fit, I think the first game that he's back, he probably won't play. And I'm talking about that. One thing that I was very disappointed with was that Moriba didn't play. As we already know, Ilex Moriba came in and he actually had the possibility to play, but he didn't. He should have played, in my opinion. Maybe give him the opportunity over someone like maybe not changing Des could have been an option, instead of bringing Junior Firpo, just put in someone like Moriba, or take Trincao out and then put Moriba in. But perhaps Koeman is also saying Moriba for a game at the Camp Nou, or in the Supercopa. Who knows? Thoughts on Umtiti's defending today? Actually, Anumpam, let's start going over some of my match notes. Like always, if you're new to our live streams, we start by just my overall impression of the game, and then we move on to the chat, and then go back into my match notes, and then vice versa like that, So, as you mentioned, Umtiti, I wanted to mention really quickly the situation with Araujo. According to Mundo Deportivo just now, it seems that he has some sort of discomfort in the right leg. This is thanks to annoying Huh. He has actually posted in the chat as well. And it's good that he has actually said it before, because it's kind of forewarning the injury. I already mentioned that. But Umtiti coming in, I thought it was actually going to be a very difficult game for him. Granada is a team that they like to pressure really high up, and Umtiti doesn't really do the best against these sort of teams. But he was solid. He was really, really solid. In my opinion, he wasn't class. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't a 10 out of 10. I think he was a solid performer today, and certainly better than what Lenleg has been doing in the last 3 games. So that is why I would continue Umtiti to play as a starter for the next game. I would keep Umtiti on the side, Mainly because one, if Araujo is this comfort mate, we don't have anyone else to play. But I would put Umtiti over Lenglet. I think Koeman, being a defender himself in his player career, he should realize that and maybe go like, you know what, Umtiti actually did the better performance and keep him there. For me, Samu was really good. I like Samuel Umtiti. He's not one of my favorite players, but one of the players I have more compassion with, or more time, more patience. I think that's the word. More patience with him. I think he was okay. He was solid. He wasn't. Let's not go over our heads and just say he was the next Beckenbauer. No, he was solid. He was okay. He was good. Umtiti in his peak was amazing. Umtiti in his peak you could make an argument he was one of the best defenders in the world, like certainly top 5. But right now, solid performance. Solid performance. Big Trip Mo saying Oscar reminds me of a mini Sergio Ramos. He kind of looks like Ramos, right? With a ponytail, with a beard. But yeah, he kind of has that sort of build, He can play for the right back position as a center back. He does have indeed a sort of very, very similar traits to what Sergio Ramos had or has. So yeah, I think that's a good assessment, honestly. I don't know if he will ever reach those heights, but we never said the same things about Ramos and players like that when they were young, right? We just have to see how they play. El profesor, is that like a reference to La Casa de Papel? Do you think Araujo's position could be in threats involving Bengoetxea and they were comfortable on the wall as well? Definitely, but I would also keep Araujo. I think that from Araujo and Mingueza... Okay, look, the difference is that Mingueza is much better, like you say, in comfortable on the ball. On the ball, Mingueza is a far better player than Araujo. Araujo kind of fumbles with the ball a bit, and Umtiti is natural with that. But when you rate them as a defender, as what they do actually to defend, I do feel that Araujo has a higher potential. I think his defensive awareness is better. I think he utilizes his body much better for defending than Mingueza. Mingueza kind of, it's a lot of effort for Mingueza to try and get himself in front of someone like Roberto Soldado or Luis Suarez today. He was trying to kind of pushing his body into the way and just trying to win the duel and get the ball back. Araujo, it's a physical presence. He has a natural gift that God has given him, and he knows how to utilize that. His tall body, his frame, he gets in between him and the defender, and it's very hard for them, the opposition, to get the ball. So I believe that Araujo has the higher ceiling than Mingueza, but I wouldn't be too worried about who actually starts right now. I think it's just good to see that we have options on the bench. And we all know that Eric Garcia will also be coming to Barcelona soon. So Barcelona in the defense looks set. They look set, honestly. They really, really do. Anuri DR, regarding the Busquets handball, there's a rule, right? It's not considered a handball if the foul happens beyond the 4-second timer before a goal being a shot. Referee allowed it too. Are you asking or are you saying? I have never heard of that before, but it sounds fair. So I wouldn't be too surprised if that's the reality. Carson H saying, this team is slowly earning back our trust. They surely are. I like this version of Barcelona because mainly I really like the formation that Koeman's playing. I really like that. I feel that it fits better to what Messi is now. Not necessarily just sticking to the right-hand side or playing as this kind of fake winger. I think he's liking this formation, and certainly playing alongside Pedri, and he's just having fun. That is the thing. Messi is having fun playing. So I should say we should stick with the formation. I'm happy with what we've got. Omar Ashil saying Pedri isn't clinical at all. He's better right now at creating than Coutinho, but Coutinho is far more of a threat and decent at creating as well. So I would play him over Pedri when he's fit. Certainly, I believe Pedri it's adjusting better to what the team needs right now, because the clinicality, is that a word? the finishing won't come for Pedri. I don't think he's been asked that. So that is why I feel okay with Pedri playing. Like finishing, leave that to Griezmann, leave that to Messi, leave that to Dembele, leave that to Ansu Fati. I think Pedri's role should be just one out of creating. And I'm gonna make a slight comparison to Iniesta, but it doesn't have to do anything with them being similar. But kind of Iniesta is what was that at the start. He wasn't a he wasn't a clinical finisher. He wasn't the most productive in terms of scoring himself the goals and finalizing the chances, but he was just a baller. He was a creative threat, and if that's a word, I'll take it. And I think Pedri is becoming slowly that. I think he's becoming that. According to the current season's performance, who do you think is Barca's best duo of center backs? I think the best duo this season, honestly, Piqué wasn't horrible. In my opinion, Piqué wasn't horrible. But it's kind of, we've already forgotten that he's even here to begin with. I'll always take Piqué because I think he's very vocal. He's the perfect guy to be leading and combining the center back line. So I'll take Piqué and then probably put him next to Mingueza. I think Mingueza has been the most solid of them all. Araujo has made a few mistakes here or there. Like I mentioned, I think he still has the bigger ceiling, but Mingueza, in my opinion, has to take that position. Umtiti did good, but he hasn't played that much for me to guarantee him a spot. Mateo Tolumi says, do you think Griezmann played good or not? I think Griezmann played incredibly well. We're talking about 2 goals, 1 assist. And not only that, not only the numbers, but he's playing better in conjunction with Messi and what the team requires. He's understanding himself how to join in the attack and be a much bigger presence. And that is what we saw throughout this game entirely. Griezmann started for the right most of the time, but then attacked for the left, edged for the middle. And he was constantly shifting positions with Pedri and Messi. And that is what we need. Dembele gave us such a huge presence for the right-hand side that Griezmann just never need to attack there. As the minutes develop, he would just kind of read the spaces and attack them. And that is what we want basic Griezmann to do. Griezmann, most of the time, if you see him at France and those stuff like that, and Atletico Madrid, he was either one of 2 things. The ball carrier, he was either the guy who had the ball and just looked for the passes, then for other teams to finish them, sort of what Pedri and Messi are. But he was also the constant runner. He was also constantly the guy getting himself into the box and getting himself into positions and being that second man in attack. Let's say Dembele comes, shoots, then the ball rebounces or deflects off the post, and Griezmann gets himself into a good position so that he can be an option for a second shot and attempt on a goal. That is what Griezmann does the best, and that is how we've seen Griezmann so far in this game. It means that he's getting better. Not only is Barcelona playing better, but Griezmann individually is getting better and he's understanding more. In contrast to other occasions where I've seen Griezmann play good and youth as well, Griezmann in those certain occasions was scoring and was doing a good performance mainly because what the team was showing and what the opposition gave them, to try and overcome. But this time around, Griezmann is actually, like I said, you see a different sort of improvement. It's not an improvement of just some few minutes or no. Constantly throughout the game, Griezmann was a presence. He's involving himself into the side incredibly well. I like that. What is your best 11 without injuries? We can probably get that. We probably can get into that later in this live stream. With Logic says, where do you think we have an edge to PSG? Like how we can beat PSG or what's on our edge? Our edge to PSG is that I believe we are much more dynamic. We're much more dynamic than PSG. PSG, like it or not, they have become a much more structured team and more organized side. They're a team that would actually drill results out. Most likely they're not. And they're not a team that are just going to blast your doors open. They're not that anymore. We see how they've been struggling so far in Liga, and that's a result of that. Thomas Tuchel is a manager like that. He's a manager that is really structured in the way that he puts his tactics into place. And he's always going to keep every single player in their positions. And he's very all kind of systematic and concrete. Like a teacher in school, like an English teacher. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but for me, my English teacher was like that. He was constantly expecting the best from us and being very strict. And that is what Tuchel did. Pochettino is very much like that. Whilst Koeman at Barcelona and this Barca side are more free. So if it comes down to last minute goals, it comes down to being equal to 2 and we want to go to a second leg and just try to get a performance that can actually give us the result that we need. I trust more Barcelona in that because I feel that Barcelona have that in them to actually pull out a result like that, to break all sort of tactics down, break the game, and that they can get a result. Whilst PSG are better at what they do so far, we still have to see and wait how Pochettino develops. I just feel that Barcelona can be more creative. That is the only thing that I have. How would you feed Ansu Fati, Dembele, Griezmann, and Pedri? You really can't. You cannot feed them together. But it will be interesting to see how we play doing that, something like that, because my goodness, that's an amazing 11, isn't it? And that's honestly, you have to add into that list Messi as well. That is what you have to ask that. Yeah, Antonio Badini says Pochettino's coach. Yeah, I was saying before, yeah, but you probably know. How do you think we can win that tie, Buga? The substitutions today were logical and to the point. Koeman really did a great job at that front. I don't really want to get too much into the tie of PSG because that really doesn't make too much sense. There's nothing really that can, like, it's either just playing well. From technical approaches, I cannot tell you that much because I don't know what Pochettino does with PSG. Just one game done and it's a 4-2-3-1 with PSG. We can see that clearly. But I cannot tell you more. So I'm honest. I cannot tell you more on how we can win the tie. It's just, I can tell you we can play well. We can put a good team. We can be consistent. We can have a good attitude and determination. It can get us through, go and win every single ball, try and get every duel, every rebound. That's how we're going to win the game. That's how you win a Champions League, let's be honest. I'm not sure Griezmann will perform well the entire season. That's also my worry for Griezmann. Whilst Griezmann understands that and it's becoming better and more of a presence and he's constantly contributing to the side, I'm worried that he might fall down at some stage, especially after some substitutions. For me, Griezmann is a player of you have to constantly start him time and time again to actually be better so that he performs to the level that we all know. But I don't know if Koeman is going to grant him with that, especially with Ansu Fati, like we say, returning. In all honesty, like I said, I think Ansu Fati will start from the bench and then he will slowly creep himself back into the team because if we talk about our front four is Pedri, Messi, Dembele and Griezmann. That is our best attack right now. If Ansu Fati comes, do you take Dembele out for Ansu Fati? I don't really know because Dembele gives you so much in terms of that. Dembele is someone that can help you improvise chances, that can help you improvise to get the win in certain different ways. Ansu Fati, I just feel that he's a clinical finisher. Ansu Fati is probably one of the best finishers that Barcelona have right now on their side. And he reads the game very well. He knows how to exploit the spaces in behind. And most of the time when he runs, he's going to get a goal. It's very hard, honestly. It's very, very hard how to fit them in. If I had one name that I would drop Griezmann probably. I would drop Griezmann. But if he continues like this, it's going to be very hard to do that. Do you think PSG will be tougher than Juve were at the Camp Nou? It's hard to tell. Juve at least have some sort of consistency with the manager so far. It's still a new team and everything, but they have more of belief, I would say, than PSG right now. So I couldn't tell you. It's still a month away. Anything can happen. Arusini Singh says, do we need any reinforcement from outside the club? About reinforcements, the next video that I have been planned out that is going to be coming this Monday is going to be about Memphis Depay, because I believe Depay could be a good addition to our side. I really do believe that, especially for the money that is being talked about. But about any reinforcements, not really. I don't think there's much that can really help us. I believe a signing of a midfielder could be good, but we already have tons of midfielders in the team. It's just Koeman needs to play them more. I need to trust them more. For me, the signing of Pjanic was misjudged. Was really misjudged. But that was a Bartomeu signing, not necessarily a Koeman signing, so I cannot really talk much about that. Just off topic, says Anumpar Majurundar. Is there any updates regarding the electoral candidates? Well, so far, Laporta, Font, and Emile Rus. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Emile Rousseat, the guy who said that he would bring Neymar in, and the guy who said he would bring in Haaland. They all got the bare minimum of signings, of signatures. So they are on to the next phase of the elections. The other guys, the guy who was offering free tattoos, Jordi Farré, and ordering free pizza for everyone. He hasn't gotten any yet. So yeah. Just Buga, please answer. Will we win the Supercopa de España next week? I think we can. I think that Real Sociedad is probably the most accessible opponents that we have, and we can certainly beat them. And then, if it's Bilbao, the worst for me is Real Madrid. Bilbao is a hard team, Real Sociedad as well, but I just don't trust Madrid, and that tells you everything. I don't trust Real Madrid because they can come out with an amazing performance, or they can come out looking like a third division team. That's the reality of Madrid right now. Fishy Boy Commando says, what do you think of Umtiti today? I think Umtiti, like I said already, was solid. I think he put in a good performance, a good shift. I don't think he was world class or he was just incredible. I think he was good. Solid performance, a good 7 out of 10 performance. He was solid. But when me saying solid, it's still better than Lenglet. So I would certainly play the Lenglet. I would certainly play Umtiti over Lenglet. I think he deserves a start. I think he deserves to continue in Supercopa, and especially the Supercopa. Just keep Umtiti there, Just keep Umtiti there. Let's see what that discomfort was in that supposed injury that happened to him and Dest, and that's it, Let's just see how it goes. Buga calling off Messi? What? Oh, substituting off Messi. I think substituting Messi is okay. I think it's good enough. Like, it's just a rest. It's rest, so I'll take it. Leonardo Ocheviri saying Emerson is coming in the summer. I almost forgot. Oh yeah, Emerson is coming back. I'll take Emerson over anything, honestly. I think Emerson is an incredible player for Real Betis. We should take Emerson, certainly. I like Emerson a lot. And Emerson Royale. That's his name complete. Emerson Royale. Are you going to do match ratings today? I could do match ratings today, later. What are your thoughts on the Copa del Rey draw for Barça? It's interesting, guys, because if you don't know who we got in the Copa del Rey, we got Cornelia, the team that kicked out or knocked out Atletico Madrid. So that's going to be an interesting game because they're the giant killer so far. So we just have to wait and see whether they're going to kill us, I think playing Madrid can give us a reality check ahead of PSG tie. That's honestly a good take as Asu shot. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Sorry, I'm so bad with the names. I even mispronounced my own name. But I think playing Madrid can give us a reality check ahead of PSG. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I think playing Real Madrid earlier than PSG could actually be good for us, So I'll take it. I think if we play Real Madrid, it could help us see actually where we are in terms of development and in terms of 2021. Brent Garcia saying, not misjudge if it's the signing was all about balancing books. Oh, the one about Pjanic. Yeah, it's about balancing the books, but misjudge certainly in the terms of sporting reasons. Like, he's a good player, but not necessarily one that I believe was going to take Barcelona to a next level. His role is very particular, and I don't know if he's gonna fit especially in this two pivot formation of Koeman. I would like to see him more next to De Jong and see how he plays, because he played incredibly well against Ferencváros, which was the other team that he played incredible against. I think it was Valencia, maybe. I don't remember who he played incredible against, but yeah, that's how it is. Francisco Javier Hidalgo Gomari saying, what do you think of Dembele? What is Dembele? Ousmane Dembele, I like Dembele a lot. It's always a very hard ask when I'm talking about the most talented players in the world and the players for the future. We talk about Haaland, we talk about Mbappe. Dembele, if he remains fit, or if he was fit all this time, he would be up there. He's incredible. He's really, really good, Dembele. He has probably one of the best ratios in goals and assists that we have in our team. I actually do think he is. He's second to Messi. So yeah, he's incredible. Mohamed El Safi, Real Madrid is playing in snow right now. Maybe this can be a disadvantage for Madrid. If they lose, it's going to be a huge step forward for us in the title race. Hopefully. I'll take that. Would you start Ricky Puig against Real Sociedad in the cup match? I would put our best lineup, and our best lineup is the one that we have right now. People think that I hate Ricky Puig, but I don't hate Ricky Puig. I really don't. I don't have anything against anyone. I didn't even hate Valverde. I hated Bartomeu. I just hated Bartomeu because he was dumb. He was stupid. He literally knew nothing about football. But I don't hate Ricky Puig, but I wouldn't play him. I would not play him because for me we need to put our best team out there. Possibly if we bench Pedri and just keep Ricky Puig, but ensure that we're able to put our best 11 there. The worst thing that could happen for Barcelona is that against Real Sociedad we played like Junior Firpo instead of Alba. We played Umtiti, we played Bengoetxea, we played Neto, we played Dest, we played someone like Frankie de Jong. We don't have that many names. De Jong, Pjanic, and we just Francisco Trincao, Braithwaite. I think that if we changed much, we would struggle. But I just want to rotate in a good way. Just two positions. Rotate Pedri, bring in Ricky Puig, that would work. Take out Griezmann, put Braithwaite, that would work. Just rotate like that. Give Busquets a rest, put Pjanic in. But small substitutions. I don't want to have a complete new 11 against Real Sociedad. Yeah, I saw Moise Kean score for PSG just now. With Logic says, is it me or Bayern lost their charm? Many teams have managed to beat them this season with a high line and press. During build-up play, just look at Mönchengladbach. Indeed. It's not about charm. It's like Liverpool. Liverpool have also lost their charm if you're really being honest. But the thing is about just being. It's very hard to stay at that peak, at the top. Everything in life is like a sine curve where it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up and then it goes down and it goes up and then it goes down. So right now Barcelona, for instance, are slowly climbing in because they were so shit that they reached rock bottom and now they're slowly climbing back up. Bayern reached their peak now and they have to go down, and it's up to Hansi Flick to revert them and push them back so they can go higher up. That's how it needs to be. So of course you're going to be seeing some detriment because it's hard to continue being motivated, and motivation is everything in life. If you're motivated to be the best every single year, good for you. That's Ronaldo. And we see how for Ronaldo that has taken him all the way up. We see in Messi how it has taken him all the way up. Pelé, all of these incredible players, they've been always at the top because they had that motivation, that drive. Akshay Arihar saying, there is something off about Dest. He could not dribble, plus he's having trouble in throw-ins. Messi also kind of shouted at him today. Your thoughts on Dest? I didn't saw Messi shouting at Dest, but I think he's not been the best. He hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been incredible. And that is honestly a deficiency or a detriment of constantly having him playing every single game. He's a young player. We forget he's my age. He's younger than me. He's 19 or 20 now. I'm not too sure. But Dest just needs to get some change, This is something that happens when you play always constantly young players. They need to refresh. They need to get a restart. They need to know that it's not expected of them every single week, because if you put this much expectation on a player to play every single game incredibly well, it's going to be hard for them. So if we get back to Roberto, it's honestly good that we should play Roberto for a bit, then bring Dest back on. That is how it should work. Exactly, like Economic Euro that has said here, Dest looks very tired. He does look tired. He's been changed of the past 3 games every single time, like around the 60th minute, because he's tired. He's really tired. He looks tired. He's the guy probably has been playing the most with Pedri. Every single game he's been playing because we don't have another right back. Pedri and Dest looks tired. Puig and Firpo need to come on way more earlier. Indeed, I agree with you as well. And not just these games. Koeman had to anticipate that far earlier. He should have rotated earlier in Bilbao as well, because it's not about just one game. It's about just having your complete game management. What happened with the shout of Messi to Dest? Did it look bad? What happened? Do you think Roberto is as good as the others? I think Roberto is good. I think Roberto is a decent player. But he should come in the midfield and also rotate with Dest a lot more. I think that's what needs to happen. Exactly. So many of you are hitting the point with Sergio Dest, and I'm happy for that. We're all agreeing on Dest right now. Oh wait, I have a notification here. I have to watch my friend there. My friend is playing a competitive Dota match, and he wants me to watch his very first game. And I'm like, I'm doing a live stream, dude. Barça is more important. So, what else? Let me check right now my match notes and see what I have. We talked about Griezmann, we talked about Ricky Puig, we talked about Dembélé, we talked about Pedri, Trincao, all of them. We talked about Messi. Did we talk about Messi? I don't think we talked about Messi. Messi, for me, he wasn't the best this season. Let's be honest. He wasn't playing the best. Certainly, a lot of it was mentally because he was dragging himself down. All the things of the whole, conundrum, the whole saga. But he's looking better, and for me, it's that he's having fun. The smile has returned to Messi, and that is mainly due to Pedri in a way, but also for just the other players stepping up. Dembélé, Griezmann, they're all stepping up. And I like that. I feel that Messi recognized that there is a good team here. It's just we need someone to kind of scrape the corners, make them smooth, and we can have a good team. Just someone needs to come in here to make it better. I think that is what needs to happen. And that is how Messi will secure an extension. That is how Barcelona will be able to keep Messi when we have a proper team, because that is the only way to convince him. How would you say that Barcelona managed to stay in their excellent form during 3-4 years during the Pep era? Because if you take a look at the Pep era, there were two teams there. There were two teams. There were the one with Messi, Henry, and Eto'o, and there was the one with Villa, Pedro, and Messi. Pep knew how to change the team. He knew how to revert the team and put in the right pieces at the right time. That is what needs to happen. A team to stay at the top, they need to shift as well. If you look at Manchester United with Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex would do something that is very good. He would, every year, he would sign just like one player to revolutionize the team. Just one player. It could be Park Ji-sung, it could be Ener Valencia, just one player. And he would just take a player out, put him in the starting 11, and just change the dynamic. That is what you need to do. That is how you plan a team out. You realize, okay, this player has to go, he leaves, then you bring somebody else. You let go of Rafa Marquez, you bring in Mascherano. That is how it needs to be in the world. And that is what I believe needs to happen for Barcelona, to get to a point where we can constantly just realize, okay, this player's time is gone, he could come in. A new one can come in, something like that. Let's say that Suarez should have left Barcelona 2 seasons ago. And then we bring Griezmann then. And then he gets that year to adapt with Suarez in the team. And then he gets a full year alone. And then he gets the second year alone, and then he plays even better. That is how you need to start planning your team out. Not necessarily just kicking one out and then bringing somebody in immediately. That is what I believe needs to happen. Hyun saying, should Roberto replace Boost in the midfield? He's more mobile. I agree with you perfectly on that one. I believe Roberto is the player to play next to De Jong. I want that to happen. I really want that to happen. I take it a Shangri-La. Should captaincy change in order to make the team complete? I have no problem with, honestly, Messi being captain. That was something that in the last video it got misinterpreted. Messi being the captain is perfectly fine. He said he just simply cannot do it alone. So I think that other captains need to step up. I listened to the Spanish Football podcast recently, and Sid Lowe, one of the presenters there, a reporter, he commented on how Messi was actually not the person who was the most vocal. It was Ronald Araujo. Ronald Araujo was the most vocal. And then after that, it was Lenglet. After that, it was Ter Stegen. How come the youngster be the most vocal player on the field? That is a trade, honestly. That is a trade. And I want that to continue. And Messi should be a little bit more. But if he's not that, then we cannot fault him for it. Then we need to bring new characters in. And new players have to step up. That is what I'm just saying. El Profesor Koeman or Valverde. I mean, Valverde won stuff. It's gonna be hard. I cannot decide because it's way too early days to say it honestly. It's way too early days. Phoenixin, are you going to do match ratings today? No, I don't think I'm gonna do match ratings today. I can just give them off the top of my head, but not just open foot head. For me, I can give you the man of the match. I would say my man of the match probably was Antoine Griezmann. I think man of the match was Antoine Griezmann. We got some news from Noe. He says, Koeman said, people seem to believe I have something against Ricky. I can assure that I have nothing against him. There are many young players like Mateus Conrad who haven't played a lot yet. I mean, that is what we know, kind of. We don't know anything more. X-Prime, 3 of them are absolutely shit and 2 inexperienced teenagers. What? Should we sign Upamecano? I don't think we need to sign Upamecano. We don't even have the money. Yeah, like Irene says here, we don't have the money. Yeah, we don't have the money to buy Upamecano. Literally, we don't have the money to bring Eric Garcia for 5 million euros, and we don't have the money to bring in Memphis Depay for 5 million euros. If you can bring them in because they'll be amazing signings, but we cannot bring them in. Swabdul, no. I haven't heard anything about Griezmann and Sadio Mane. And I look at probably the most reliable sources that are on the internet, literally for that. So I haven't read anything, and I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't swap Griezmann for Sadio Mane. No, I wouldn't do that. Say what you want, but Valverde did what he had to do with the squad he was given. Only the UCL rounds were the downfall because the players got too comfortable. That is a perfect analysis. From our boy Abrar Masoud. That is a perfect analysis. I like that a lot. Can someone tell me the hype around Eric Garcia, please? I don't get it. It's not about him being an amazing player. He's way younger than others. Still, he's 19. He's 19 years old. He's 2001. But the thing is that why would it be important for Barcelona? Not necessarily is that a player performs well in a team doesn't mean that he won't perform even better in another one. So Eric Garcia is ex-Barcelona. He has grown up with Ansu Fati. He has played with Takefusa Kubo. All of these youngsters. Aleñá, Riqui Puig. Eric Garcia could be amazing for Barcelona for what he is. Piqué wasn't amazing in Manchester United. He played, yeah, but he wasn't amazing. He came to Barcelona and then he grew to become what he was, a leader for the team. Why? Because it fit the story. It fit the story of what he was. And that same thing can happen to Eric Garcia, and I think it will. I think he can become a leader later down the road, and I would just love to see him at Barcelona. I could just imagine Ansu Fati and Eric Garcia, 2 best friends, playing football all their life at Barcelona. It's incredible. It sounds like a good story. Haaland says, Phoenix says, do you see Haaland's performance today? He scored 2 really good goals. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna see it. But no, I haven't. Xavi was always on the bench. Riqui Puig. Oh, you mean that. Okay, who do you think is the most probable to play for Barça? Mbappé, Haaland, or De Ligt? Who do I think I would fit the best? De Ligt. I think De Ligt would fit the best at Barcelona. Who is the most likely? In my opinion, honestly, is Haaland. I don't see Mbappé. I don't see De Ligt happening. De Ligt could happen, but later down the road. So when De Ligt is like 24, 25. Haaland, I think, can happen soon, but only if Barcelona are able to get the money for after the presidential elections. Luis, I just wanted to say that I love your channel, bro. You're awesome. Keep up your amazing work. Thank you, dude. Thank you. It's nice always to hear good comments like that. I try to do my best. Before I was doing things that just didn't make me happy in YouTube, and I shifted the way that I do my videos, and I think I don't know if they're paying off, but they're paying off, in my opinion, for how I feel. I feel that I'm happy with what I'm producing. And talking about that, guys, I have, before we sign off today, I have a survey that is for my thesis, or thesis, I don't know how you say it in English, thesis, I think it is, that I'm going to graduate from university soon. I'm graduating this year. So I'm studying basically reporters and basically the sports media industry. So, guys, if you could do the survey for me, for my research, for my thesis, it would be incredible. I'm going to link it here and also on YouTube later, on Twitter, everywhere, because I just want you guys, because you watch football just like me, right? We watch football, so we're consumers of football. We're consumers of the sports industry. So if you can do the survey, it would be incredible. Please let me know if it works or no. I think it should work. But I would just love it if you could spare it some time just to do it, because it's a good help for my research, honestly, because I'm doing some interviews. I'm interviewing some reporters. I'm interviewing some guys in the media, so that's gonna be interesting. But if you could do it, it would be amazing. Let me just type it here. If you could. Let me know if it works, guys. Let me know if it works. It will be, let me check it out. Yeah, so just so you know, you have to, the first page of the survey is really simple. And then the second page is basically for if you want to be a journalist or you want to work in the sports media industry. So if you want to work there, do the second page, answer the first one, and then the second one, answer it if you want to work there. If you do not want to work in the sport media industry, just do the first one, click next, and ignore the questions on the second one. It's just something like that. But anyhow, guys, I want to be reading some more of your comments, and let's see how we go from here. We're just gonna leave it a few more hours because I promised my friend that I was gonna watch his Dota game, and I need to be there. Have we moved forward from the transition phase? I'm not too sure we have moved, honestly, Madan. I don't think we have moved from the transition phase. I think we're starting. I think that before we were in decline, and this season, this is the first season that I believe we are starting our transition. I honestly think this is the first transition, the first step of transition. I think that is just something that takes time. It looks like a long time, but we haven't made transition yet. This is the first year of transition, in my opinion. Molibeli Lempano says, when Umtiti is on form and fully fit, I think him and Araujo are the best center-back partnership. They could be. I think Umtiti is class. He really is when he actually plays. So, yeah. I think he's class. With logic thank you for the content, Buga. It's extremely underrated. Thank you for watching. I guess I could say that as well. And I'm gonna put this song, my god, I just remember this song that it's a banger. Have you ever heard Crystal Ball from Death from Above? They are this band that played in FIFA. I think their song, yeah, this song is in FIFA. I love FIFA songs. FIFA songs are very, very good. Yeah, we're still in transition for a while, yeah. Anuri are saying, okay, let's clear the air. How bad is Barça financially? I mean, how bad are Barça financially? I bet they can not even buy one of these for the press conference for Koeman. That is how bad I think they are. And good luck on your thesis and congratulations on your graduation. I'll help. Thank you everyone for helping. It's really, really good to see you guys, which care, guys who care. Everyone go and watch the Madrid game when this one is over. Madrid are struggling, 3 shots, 0 target. I'm going to turn on my TV. Thanks for letting me know. I'm turning my TV on right now, but I need to lower the volume as soon as it turns up because I can get copyright strike. Oh, no, I'm watching apparently United Watford. I don't want to watch United Watford. Who wants to watch that game? Horrible game. I cannot believe one day one of you guys said I was a United fan. How in the world? How? Why would I be a United fan? It's horrible. Milan Torino hasn't even started. I want to watch that game. Here is Real Madrid Osasuna. Oh yeah, bro, this is probably the first time I've ever seen a game with snow. I think I watched one with 2 years ago that was like Wolfsburg, Frankfurt or something like that. But this is the first one that I've seen like of a big game like Real Madrid. What is your best 11? My best 11 is probably... My best 11, Ter Stegen, Dest, Piqué if fit, Araujo if not, Umtiti, Mingueza, Alba, then De Jong, Roberto, Roberto next to De Jong, although he hasn't played ever there, but I think he would do good. Then Messi, Dembélé, Pedri, and Griezmann. That is my best formation. Shamil Becker says, I think Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, we need to play the same lineup as we can kill the game early on, and we should immediately bring on players like Pedri, Dembélé, Messi. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good way of always thinking a game. I think in football, you need to strike hard. You need to go first, try to get the results, and then make the rotations. Because a comeback is harder to make it happen. A comeback, the other team has to rely on themselves to make that happen. So that's just how I think it should be. Believe me. So yeah, which comp do you think is easier to win? I think the Supercopa, but the Supercopa is not the best. Where is Fati? I'm not considering Fati because he's injured right now. But Fati would probably come out for Dembélé. But it's so hard. No, I would take out Griezmann and then put Fati in for Griezmann. Yeah, that's what I would do. I'll put Fati for the left, Pedri as a 10, Messi as a false 9, and then Dembélé as a right. Because honestly, Griezmann so far is good. Griezmann is amazing. He's getting better, but I don't think he's yet to his best. Whilst Fati, his best is just incredible. Oh my God! The amount of people that are freaking out because Fati is not there. He's injured, my dude. I just did it like that. But I guess didn't make sense because I included Roberto. Is that I can just not include Busquets? I cannot come along and say Busquets. I cannot. Fati for Dembélé. Yeah, I would say Fati for Dembélé. I would like to know your opinion, guys, on that one. Who would you change? Would you change for Fati, Griezmann, or Dembélé, or somebody else? Let me know. Yeah. So, guys, I think that's gonna be it so far, honestly, for this live stream. Once again, if you ever have the time, if you can do this survey, it would be amazing. It would be amazing if you can help me out with this survey. I just need some few more names in, and it will be incredible. But yeah, I think that will be it, guys. And let's see us together on Monday. On Monday, I have to work. On Monday, I have a video planned for Memphis Depay that's already done. It should be uploaded by now. Or, well, for Monday, but it's already uploaded. And then on Wednesday, we have the game against La Sociedad, which is huge. And then we should get back to normal because I'm working on my research now. So I'm working full-time on that until the 13th. So I've been working really hard to try and get these videos done. But the live streams, I'll be here. So don't worry. So, yeah. That's going to be it for right now, guys, I guess. And wait, I'm seeing Cross take this corner. You know what? Actually, I'm going to say Asensio. I'm surprised. Asensio is playing. I'm not too sure. Asensio has been playing pretty damn good since he came back from injury. He's been playing really damn good. But yeah, I think that's going to